everybody? We are back. It is Taped on Live Favorites Podcast, Favorites Channel, Favorites Everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 25% off. All right, Matt. So we are doing a film review of guys that we just purposely tried to ignore in the off season. I mean, you if you're a fan and you want to say they were biased, I guess you could say that. But yeah, so guys we personally tried to ignore, but we're forced after the draft and preliminary reports out of OTAs to do Alex Cappa and Devin White. So we're doing Alex Cappa and Devin White, doing a breakdown of that. So that should be fun stuff. And really nothing else going on besides that. I don't know about you, Matt, but nothing else going on, right?
No, nothing going on. All I had to say was first knock on the new coaching staff is forcing us to do these breakdowns that we were trying to avoid and didn't want to do for a while. But here we are. So that's how it has to be.
All right, man.
I'm personally holding John Spicek accountable for this one, actually, because it's two former Bucks that he was obviously a part of drafting, and he's got his fingerprints all over these two guys.
Okay, yeah, exactly. To be honest, and just watching Alex Cappa and watching him pick up blitzes against the Chiefs, I was like, oh man, of course. Well, 2 games a year, I think he might be really good.
I was gonna say he's the answer. He's the answer. That'd be awesome if he just started 2 games with literally just those 2 games because he's just good against the Chiefs. Now I'm curious too. We got to look up his PFF grades in the when they had the Bengals and them had the rivalry going just to see how he did. Was he their stud? He was the Chris Jones racer. Who's the dude?
I'm gonna look this up now, Matt.
Who was the dude that from the Trailblazers? His name's drawing a blank. He was he called himself the Kobe stopper or whatever. He played for the Lakers and something like that. And
Horry?
Kobe, what?
No,
it wasn't Horry. He played for it was some random dude who played for the Lakers and said he would always lock up Kobe in practice, and he signed with the Blazers, and Kobe was like, well, now I gotta drop 50 on you. That's Alex Cappa and Chris Jones. He's the Chris Jones stopper.
Well, in 2017, he had a grade of 12.6 against Kansas City.
Okay, so, maybe not. Maybe I wasn't onto something.
Yeah, let's go to. They played it, but in 2022, 82.9 pass.
Okay, there we go.
Didn't give up on pressure.
Was that's the year they went to the Super Bowl, right? 2022.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, not 20.
No, the year after.
They went to the AFC Championship.
Gotcha. 21 was when they beat him in the championship. 22 was when they played him in the championship. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he was with Tampa back then.
Oh, that's right. So he wasn't even on that Super Bowl team. Okay.
Not quite. Yeah. Because the thing with Alex Cappa, and I'll say this, is Alex Cappa is either god awful or he's solid. And I think that's kind of the thing, but he's just so good at picking up stunts and blitzes that if you look through Dylan Parham's history, I guess, right? He's just something he's really never done really well. Alex Cappa is excellent at that. He is great. You can tell he played with Tom Brady for a long time because he's one of those guys. He's he's when it comes to blitzes and stunts and all those type of things, he knows who's coming. He knows where they're coming from. Where he doesn't miss a rap guy around, and those are that really is going to stand out right now. I mean, we were talking about that before. So right now in practice and camp and stuff like that, when Patrick Graham and them are trying to put their blitzes in, Alex Cappa's probably picking them damn things up, and he's going to look really good right now without pads on. So we'll see what happens when the pads turn on and maybe he has to block some people one-on-one. Because his main problem to me is he's 6'6". Okay, so he's really tall. He's 6'6". Yeah, big dude. So he doesn't. He probably, I don't know. I haven't watched his whole career, but I bet he's had high pad level his whole career. But he just has such great feet, and he has pretty good hand placement. I bet he was able to get away with it. I bet he was just so strong. And now he's older, he can't get away with having that high pad level anymore. That's what I think is that when I watch him, I'm like, I could tell you probably used to be good, right? And like just because the way you move, the way you pick up things, it's just like it's catching up with him.
Gotcha.
Like you could have that, if you're that good of a player, you probably get away with it a little bit. I mean, especially with him, and then especially have like Tom Brady and them guys behind you. So like even if you did get beat, I mean the ball's already out. I'm gonna show a couple clips of Joe Burrow. It doesn't even make sense how quick Joe Burrow got that ball out. It doesn't make sense. But it's when you play with Brady and then you play with Burrow, like you might not look as bad, even though he still ended up giving a bunch of sacks, but you might not look as bad as the pad level if you get pushed back. Brady's already got that ball out before you get in Brady's lap, right? And that's what I noticed about him. Is that it's just he has a high pad level, and it's like year 8. I mean, can we get that pad level down? No, we're not gonna do that. It's not gonna happen, right? That's wishing. So that's what I think it is with him when I watch him, is that he has great athletic ability. You could tell like everything you could see you could tell why he was good, but you can't maintain that over time when you start to lose strength, when you start to get older, you start to slow down, and then you're playing these younger, faster defense tackles who are stronger and bigger than ever. Yeah, you're gonna start to lose a little bit more. But he's intelligent as hell. So like the mental processing is off. It's just crazy, man. Like, it's one of those things that he just stands out that way. That makes him is why he probably stays on the field a lot. Even though he's getting beat, Burrow probably doesn't want to let him go because like he's helping Burrow pick up stuff.
Yeah. He's the captain of the O line. So
yeah.
I mean, from the standpoint of like that's like you said, that's one of Parham's like weaknesses. Maybe that's a good guy to have around for him to help with him. And I mean, Rodgers kind of the same way, because I think that was one of Rodgers' weaknesses at guard last year when I was watching the tape on him of last season. At Texas Tech, that maybe that's a good guy to at least in that regard. Cappa's a good guy to kind of help coach those guys up and help be a mentor for them, especially if that's their weaknesses. So at least we got that. I'm just trying to find some silver linings over here. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm finding silver linings by like he's great at stunts. I mean, he is though. I mean, I'll show it on the film, but like it's just like when you're playing Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is not gonna have low pad level, man. He's gonna lift you off the ground. So like I mean, and then like 97 from the Cowboys too.
So Odighizuwa.
Yeah, he was getting damn good too. So it's just things like that with him. Is like with the high pad level, it's just not going to work. But you're not 22 anymore. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. Those knees once you hit 30, as I can speak from existence, they don't bend like they used to.
You know what I mean?
Part of me wonders too if like you got JPJ at center, who's I think good and smart, but like he's obviously younger. If that's part of the reason why they want to get like Cap and why they want him in the starting lineup like now to help kind of get everyone up to speed, get everyone on the same page and used to that communication. Like again, because there are pretty young. I mean, outside of Colton Miller, they're pretty damn young up front. I mean, Dylan Parham is the second oldest dude, and he's still on his rookie's contract besides Kappa, of course. So
yeah. You know what I mean? So I understand why he's out there now, but there's just gonna be some games where he's just or he'll be really upset because like you even go look at his PFF, it's like, I mean, even when he's bad, it'd be like 50, 63 with pass blocking, it'd be like 50, then a 12, and then it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I think PFF had him giving up, like, if I'm not mistaken, like the most sacks, if not up there in like sacks allowed last season and pressures. Granted, since he threw the ball a ton, but like he was getting like worked, like it's like you said. Usually, like it's like that'll level out with the grade with PFF, but his grade was not good either, if I remember correctly. Don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I remember looking at it and be like, that's not a good sign when you have both numbers that are high or one number that's high and then the other one being low.
Yeah, I mean, his best. One of his best games was against the Raiders too last year.
Nice.
Nice. But yeah, all right. Devin White. Let us know about Devin White a little bit, man. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, so I know some people were excited when the Raiders signed him. And I get it, former first round pick, and he has put up like some impressive sack numbers, and I do think he can be like an effective off ball blitzer. The problem is I'd be very worried if he's starting. I think his skill set is very niche. It's good on like third downs and stuff like that, but he struggles to take on blocks. He'll have some like instances against the run where like if he's on like specific, like it's just very specific where like if he's on the front side of a gap run, like he's good at crashing downhill and going and make the play. And it's funny, like I remember watching him at LSU and thinking the exact same thing of like his instincts overall against the run, I would say, are shaky. But when you run right at him in a gap run, he like his eyes like light up and he just fires out of a cannon because that's what he's best at, just going straight and downhill and attacking people.
Yeah.
And I think he can do that, but he struggles getting off blocks. Like we'll see this. Like there's a few times where, like he was struggling to beat tight ends. Like it's that bad.
Yeah.
And then in coverage, like in zone, he can be all right. And I will cut him a little bit of slack. Like he did get signed by the Texans like mid-season. I think like one of the games we'll look at was like maybe his first or second week on the team. But like it was a lot of like basic assignments where it's like where he just was getting beaten like in man coverage or whatnot, or like there's one end zone where he actually makes a good play, but he gets dangerously close to leaving his area. And like a lot of the stuff like in man coverage, like that's not really scheme specific. Like he was just getting beat. Like he was just wasn't quite up to snuff. And I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I've watched Devin White his entire career, but to me, something like he looked like he was a little bit bigger. Looked like he was a little softer in the middle. Put on some pounds in this past season where it affected his movement skills because he wasn't the athlete I remembered him being at LSU. Granted, that was 7-8 years ago now, so very fair that he would put on some pounds since then. But even like compared to years past, like he didn't look like he was moving quite as quick and whatnot. And I mean, you just look at his season from last year. Like he started signing or originally signed with the Eagles. And then ended up losing the job to Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond. I know Zach Bond ended up playing playing as a first team All-Pro this past season and was one of the better linebackers in the league. But Zach Bond going into last season was like Devin White, where he's on his like last legs in the NFL and kind of like trying to survive. And I mean, obviously the Eagles stuck out with Bond Bond, and he ended up blossoming under their coaching staff. But I mean, Devin White was getting the same coaching and he ended up getting cut in the beginning of October and eventually landing with the Houston when Houston had some linebacker troubles. But yeah, just down to down is really rough. He's just at this stage in his career, like I just think he's very much a niche player versus like your every down starter. So if he is starting for the Raiders, which I expect him to go into training camp with that role because of how much of a veteran he is. But if he's starting week one, then I think we got a little bit of issues. Hopefully one of those guys, Amari Gainer, one of the Bergs, Tommy Eichenberg or Cody Lindenberg can kind of step up and take command of that other spot because you don't want Devin White on the field outside the third downs at this stage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's really not much to say about Devin White. I mean, he got cut by the Eagles and then, went to the Texans, right?
Texans, yeah.
Yeah, he got to play at the end of the year, but it's just, I mean, he is what he is at this point. Like the same way with Alex Cappa. Like I guess when you break him down, like it's hard to say what they could get better at. You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, it's year 8. Like, I'm gonna get. I mean, it's not like it was like year 1. I'm like, yeah, like DJ Glaze. Like, yeah, you can get DJ Glaze's pad level down. Man, there's some. You know what I mean? It's just like
for sure.
As saying it, the film is a film at this point. So, I mean, maybe there's a few things maybe they can fix. I don't know, but that's how it is with like some of these guys when you're trying to mold them into something that maybe they were before. But I mean, he never really was that type of guy. Anyways, he's this guy who's got a lot of sacks and was like good blitzer. So especially with Todd Bowles and what Todd Bowles can do, that really helped him out. So.
And to put things in perspective, like this past season, granted, he didn't play that much again, like we were talking about. But to put it in perspective, he had like a 58 or something like that run defense grade this past year and like a 61 coverage grade. Those were career highs. So I've never been a big believer in Devin White. I take that back. I was a believer of him coming out of LSU, but with his resume and what he's doing in the NFL, I was just never a big on into him at this stage. So I mean, we'll see. We'll show the film, but yeah.
Yeah, this was all right. Let's I'm just doing Alex Cappa first here. All right, so check out Alex Cappa here. So start in the run game. There wasn't a lot of runs, to be honest. I would have been like have to go into like certain games, but But there are some good run blocks in here, especially against the Chiefs here. So you can see here, I mean, this is, on this outside zone run, you see him with some pretty decent pad level. I mean, like I said, he's 6'6", right? And I think he does a good job of just technique wise, besides the pad level. Like he does a good job on this reach block right here, getting his helmet right on the right side he needs to get, and then be able to drive here. And he ends up getting a little bit of pancake just because they, end up tripping over somebody. But it's still a really good block here. Just a lot of movement here. And, this is what he does really well. I mean, just moving lateral, you can see the athleticism he has, right? It's natural ability just to move. It's good, great movement skills there. Boom. Nice little dry block there, but Chiefs fill in. But you see, it's a nice block on that one. You play against the Chiefs like this, man. You get signed by the Raiders, man. This happens. Here we go. Next one. Another little run block here. So I like this one too, but you still can see a little bit of the high pad level on this one too, because he is the highest guy. He gets a little help from Orlando Brown there. Or is that Trent Brown? Is that Trent Brown? Oh, that's Big Trent. Right there, look at Big Trent. Nice little run by Cappa there. So, like I said, he gets a little help from Big Trent there, but like you could just tell, it's like sometimes with some players, he's just more powerful than them, and he's just able to hold up because, like I said, he has good feet, he has good hand placement. It's like it's not like any of the things that like you're like, oh, like he's gonna get beat because of those things. Like you can even see him resetting his hands here. He does a good job of that. Right there. All right, here against Jalen Carter here. A little split zone here, and like you can make the case that maybe Carter has the leverage here a little bit, just because like the way he's playing this, he's kind of two gapping it. But you kind of see that he doesn't really let go of it either. Like he does a good job of holding on to it. Like I said, you could tell he's a strong guy. Like the athleticism and the strength, you could tell is there. Right there, boom. Get a little push there. Watch one more time. All right, so next one here. Check this one out here. All right, a little duo on this one. Like so this one, like I said, it's not the most terrific block, but you can see just the hand placement he has. He has good feet, but it's just a pad level, right? I'm telling you, this ends up catching up with him in a minute. So you see it right there. Just the power that he has. He's able to move guys really easily. Just off pure power, hand placement, base. He's just 6'6", and he can't bend like he used to, I guess. Boom. Okay, moving on that one. Just one time here. Just like I said. So, I mean, like I said, the pad level is a lot better on this one. You see it. Just boom. Just good hands, base. Keep moving him. Like 98 had a lot of problems against Kappa. All right, here we go. Against Dallas here. Here's this one. All right. A little bit of split zone again. Now, like I said, this is what I'm talking about. This one, like he just gets tumbled over here.
Cool.
Right? But that's what I'm talking about, like with pad level, right? So he ends up he does a good job staying, right? With at the initial punch here, right? He's a good spot here. Like you're right, okay, you're right. But then he gets to kind of out leverage there a little bit. And then he ends up getting standing straight up. And once he stands straight up, he just kind of gets pushed over and tumbled over there. But I mean, it's not. I mean, he didn't like get beat initially. It's kind of after the play, but it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, at first he did like what you're talking about with his hands. Like he did a great job of like standing Odighizuwa up there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how you can get away with being a little bit taller. But then he just could not finish.
No. All right, and there's another one right here. I think this is probably his best one right here. I believe in this one. So, like I said, his movement skills is great. So you see it right here, the way he's able to move. He just gets a good leverage here. Boom, he's able to move that guy like nothing.
Ooh. Good job with the outside arm there, getting that out of the armpit. There we go.
So he has good technique and all that stuff. It's just he's just too damn high. Like, yeah, I mean, even on these reach blocks, man, he does a great job with these reach blocks. But you see even then, like he can't fit. He still get tossed. You know what I mean? Like he's just too high. He's like great block, but
Yeah, I feel like he's a little quick to roll his hips.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's how he ends up so high and getting tossed.
And and sometimes it's just he just misses blocks sometimes. So here he is. It looks like a little inside zone here. And it was like he's playing patty cake with this guy. Like, just go get him, man. He's like trying to like he's trying to show off his athleticism versus the linebacker. Like he was trying to, then he misses the block. He do become big tackle. Just like, go get him, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird the hesitation on this one. But like I said, he's just athletic. He can move. Like all that stuff is still there. It's just, when you just have the high pad level like that, it just doesn't work out for you. Every once in a while. So this one is him against Jordan Davis. Okay. So just prepare yourselves. All right. So Davis has high pad level problems too, but like these guys are the same height basically, right?
Yeah.
So this is like this is what Jordan Davis would love every single time. It's a 6'6" guard, and as you see, he just shoved him to the side like he was nothing. And the thing is like I said, he has good hand placement, man. He's inside,
Yeah.
but as soon as he gets there, right, and then he's so high, Jordan Davis just tosses him. And you can see a little bit better from this side here. Right? It's good. It's like, I mean, everything right here is just like that is boom. That's how you win the starting job right there.
Yeah.
Because with like without pads on, it probably looks awesome. That looks right.
Yeah.
That's perfect, right? But then he gets too high, and then when you're higher than Jordan Davis, you are in trouble. And that's what happened. Jordan Davis ends up making a play. All right, so let's talk about him picking up like stunts and blitzes. I mean, this is where he's like really best. I mean, you're gonna see it here. Him communicating with Joe Burrow, him communicating with the other lineman. You can see it. He communicated with Trent Brown. They're all communicating. He slaps him in the butt. Then he perfectly picks up Leo Chanel here coming on the blitz. So just basically that. I mean, you're gonna see this a lot on this film breakdown. And he picks up Leo Chanel. Of course, they knock that ball down, but like just pre-snap, the things he's doing pre-snap. Look at him. He's making the communications. He's communicating with Burrow. He knows exactly where to go. Like it wasn't even like a thought. He didn't even have to look anywhere. He knew exactly where it was coming from. Boom. His eyes are right there. Nice little punch there, initial punch. Just a good play right there. And he's smart, man. You could tell Brady must do like O-line tests or something. I don't know what Brady be doing. But he has these guys prepared. Look at this. Here he get like once again, like communicating from everywhere. Chanel's moving. Guys are moving around. Everybody's moving. He's communicating. Boom, he's able to pick it up. But you can kind of see on this one, Chanel kind of gets into his chest a little bit. A little late with the punch. You kind of see his hands get outside. But it's just how he picks it up. He knows exactly where it's coming from, right? Because they're doing like kind of a little bit stunt. Like he's not fooled at all.
Yeah.
Boom. He picked it up. I mean, he still almost gave up a sack. But you got a quarterback like Joe Burrow who's like, this ball's out quick. Boom. Step, throw, look. Perfectly accurate. God damn. That's a great throw.
Damn. Nice grab by Gesicki too.
Yeah, I know. All right, here's another one too. So on this one, they're all going to slide here, right? The O-line's going to slide. I think Burrow calls a slide here. Burrow does a lot of communication with the line, man. Watching this, I was like, I had a lot of questions myself about who's the best quarterback in the league. Watching this, I'm not gonna lie, right? Because you might get a
spicy
slide. I know you're gonna see some film. You're gonna be like, how the hell you get rid of that ball that quick and see that quick? All right, Matt. So this is a good block on Jalen Carter here too, right? I mean, like I said, like his technique is not bad. Like it's like a good everything. It's just the pad level so high. And there's a good block there on Jalen Carter. It allows Burrow to get out the pocket. Burrow makes a play, touchdown. All right, he slides the block. It's a good job there. Out of the pocket. Touchdown. Bengals. All right. Here's another stunt. So you're gonna see this. I believe this line or 99 is gonna come around here. Right. So you already see Kappa eyeing it already.
Yeah.
Like we're Raiders. I've been doing Raiders O-line films since Josh McDaniels. I have not seen somebody pick up a stunt this quickly in a minute. So that's why I'm like, this like it was nothing. Like he knew exactly what was about to happen. Right. He even did a quick glance this way. If you see it, a quick glance just to make sure that linebacker's not coming. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy's not coming. His eyes are right there. Like, I mean, and this is what you want. If you're JPJ, who's a young player who might, overset here or might go too far, just like not recognizing everything, you got Kappa right there. He's going to help you out. Boom. Quarterbacks through the ball. So it's consistent. Here's one more here. If I'm picking up another play, like you say, communicate with the quarterback. Right? They're communicating. He throws a little sign there. Right?
Yeah.
Communicates with the center. Communicates with Trent Brown. Looks back at Joe Burrow. And then picks up Bolton perfectly.
And consistently, he's the one like signaling for the snap, right?
Yeah,
that's one thing I noticed too. Yeah.
So this is why he's like, if you're wondering why he's playing, this is why.
Yeah.
I watched this. I'm like, okay, yeah, I might play him too. Shit.
At least everyone will be on the same page.
Yeah, at least we'll be able to pick up stunts and blitzes, guys. You know what I mean? So here he is. He gets a little one-on-one against Chris Jones here. He said, the pad level's high, but so is Chris Jones. He's taller, so
yeah.
So he ends up getting a good block because, like I said, good feet. He has good feet, good hands. Gets a little help there. Bro, with a dime. Imagine with Burrow with a great offensive line, man.
I almost feel like that'd make him worse.
You think so?
He wants to improvise. He wants plays like this.
So like this one too. Like I said, another good block here, 1-on-1. A good job of resetting against he tries to do a little rip move on him. Rip inside, does a good job resetting, push him around. Burrow's able to get out the pocket. That was a touchdown. Good play by corner there. All right, so let's end this with some negativity here. All right, so here he is against Jalen Carter. This one is just quick. This is as you can already see, it's already over from the jump. And Carter gets him like to commit a little bit. You see it it's kind of quick. He gets him like I don't know. This is a bad rep by Kappa. And he just does he just slaps him in the in the ribs, and then rips over. And like by the time Joe Burrow just caught this ball, guys, he just caught this. Like, he just literally just hike 1, 2.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's the James Craig technique right there.
Yeah, it is. It's James Craig right there. All right, here's another one against Carter. And you probably think maybe I'm picking on him with this, but I'm not. Because Carter just goes. You see what Carter does. Carter knows he has high pad level. He's seen that on film because he just puts his helmet right in his chest, right there. And it lifts him off the ground. But look how that's what I'm talking about, Matt. Look how quick that ball was out. Like I don't think Gino's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Kappa didn't even have a chance to get his feet on the ground.
You know what I mean? But the ball's already out, man. Look how quick he saw this. Just had me question a lot of things. This is a very quick read. That's all I'm saying, Matt. That's all I'm saying. And then you're like, it's Jalen Carter. No, here he is against Nakobe Dean. This is, like I said, a great job picking up blitzes. He pick up the blitz. Look at Kappa. He sees it. Boom, picks it up. But Dean just gives him a nice little spin move right there. He's right to the quarterback. And of course, Burrow has the ball. Gives her the ball in 1.5 seconds. 1, 2, ball out. Perfectly thrown to Gesicki.
That's good, man.
All right, because he didn't. Scappa didn't give up a sack in this game. He didn't. I mean, you can see why. All right, and then here he is against 97 from the Cowboys.
I'm not even gonna try and say it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Try, man. I'm not even gonna try. You're better at that. You're better at this name than me. I'm watching him a lot more than I have. But like you can see here, it's just like this is where the high pad level comes in. Like it doesn't matter what happens. The dude's way lower than him. He just pushes through, then rips. And he's right at Joe Burrow. Burrow gets intentional grounding, I think. I mean, unless they get in that. Yeah, but that is Alex Cappa. So you can see why he starts. Because he's probably the captain. I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, if you look at that, he is the captain, man. Okay, yeah, I was wondering where you went. You weren't giving no commentary. I was
My
like,
bad.
anyways, but yeah, when like I could tell he's probably the captain now. He's you see in camp if they have some good unison at offensive line, like it makes sense to my head. He might lose in camp, maybe if he's getting beat by like some of these guys, and Wilkins comes back, or these guys come and beat him early on. But yeah, you could definitely see why he's starting. But it's just how you're gonna be frustrated sometimes as a fan. That's all I'm saying. But like him calling out stuff. I mean, he literally that one play, he literally told the whole O-line, told Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Like that guy's gonna play. So
yeah,
nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail around the head. Like right now, like he's the senior guy on the offensive line. Him barking out all the calls. The only thing I like have a concern with is like as someone who, as a football player, was not very athletic, not very strong, but was smart and could figure it out. The problem is when everyone else figures it out, then you kind of get squeezed out of the picture there a little bit. Trust me. Again, I'm speaking from experience here. But the one thing I did notice is like, especially on those run plays, like he would get like that initial surge, like you kind of pointed out. It was just the problem was, like I said, I think he rolls his hips probably a little too quickly and stands up a little bit too much. And again, that might speak to his age a little bit. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend like I've watched Cap his entire career to know if he was better at that in the early stages. But yeah, that was the one thing that stood out to me in the running game. Is like you get like a good like initial fit on your block, you just struggle to sustain it and maintain that block. So when you play against better guys who can kind of like survive that initial contact, that initial little push, like the Jordan Davis, that clip that you showed, where when you're big on big, that's just not gonna work anymore. But the biggest thing too, like in the pass pro, like it seemed like consistently like the wide hands, man. Like that was like when you're high and you have wide hands, like that's a deadly combo. Because like you said, like Jalen Carter, a guy like that, is going to stick his head right in your chest, and there's not much you're going to be able to do about it. You're going to get air. So that's the one concern. But I do think, like you said, like the smarts, the football IQ, the leadership, like if that's what he's bringing to the table, it makes a lot more sense why they think he's going to start and be their starter week 1. It's just a matter of if someone else can kind of step in and fill that role. Maybe JPJ can take that over, but because ideally you'd like that to be your center. But if no one is right now, and again, it's a young group, especially on that interior, I can see why Kappa kind of is getting the nod a little bit, just because he's more the veteran, and that's his biggest strength right now is the mental part of the game.
Yeah, it stood out immediately. So. Yeah, man. It's like if you're wondering why Alex Cappa is getting that job and he's out there, that's why. He's just intelligent as hell. You can tell he played with like Tom Brady. I mean, that's what you could really tell he's Tom Brady, like offensive lineman. So
he played with Tom Brady and he was taking notes every time Tom Brady was talking.
I guess so. Yeah.
He's like, yep. That was what we're looking for, and he soaked it in. So props to him, man. Props to him.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's get into some Devin White.
All right. We'll get the bad part out of the way first here, and then end on a little bit of a high note. But first thing I want to show is just kind of his struggles in man coverage. The one thing that really stood out to me on this play is, I'll wind this back. If you watch the little backfield action here by the Colts, very clearly they were trying to get this matchup that they want. I don't know if it was specific to Devin White or they just wanted to get Josh Downs, their wide receiver, on a linebacker. But if you look at how the Texans are set up, we got Devin White out here, and then Jalen Petrie playing basically another linebacker spot as the strong safety. And I think they had a pretty good idea this was going to be man coverage, because then they just put Downs on a little choice route. Okay. And I mean, Anthony Richardson kind of sails this one, probably throws it a little bit too early and too hard, like normal. But like this is just like, you just can't play a choice route like this. One gets way too much depth. Like even if like I get it second down and second and long, so he's trying to just keep it in front of him. But I mean, if Downs catches this ball, like he's getting the first down. Best case scenario, it's 3rd and 2. Like, I'd like to see him kind of just park himself at the 20 right here. And then for me, the way I like to see linebackers play choice routes is make the quarterback throw, make the harder throw, which is towards the sideline. Whereas you see Devin White, like, he's going to kind of drift outside, and on top of it, he's not nearly good enough at change of direction and lateral movement skills, or at least not against a wide receiver like Downs, where he can't make that cut and drive on it. I mean, we are 3 yards away from our man here when the ball is out. Like, even if you're playing just to make the tackle here, like, that's just not going to work, because again, you're going to give up the first down.
Yeah,
we'll see it from the end zone view how close or how this was just open for Richardson if he'd made the throw.
How did Richardson miss this throw, man? Good Lord.
I don't know, dude. He is the way he can make 50-yard bombs look like layups and make layups look like full court shots is impressive. Truly is. Him and Will Levis. That was almost fun to watch. This one was even worse. I mean, you'll see the change of direction here issues. And he does slip here, and I think it was a little rainy to give him some credit. But this is what I'm talking about, where like I want to give him some slack, and like, okay, maybe it's the scheme and learning a new system, but like this play like was the one where I would like no, your coverage skills just aren't good, because if you watch, like, the Titans are going to do a little like switch release with their tight ends here, where this guy's going to run like a fade or a corner route, and this tight end's going to block for a second and then come out on the drag route. And if you watch White, like, he does a perfect job passing that guy off and picking up his new man. He just eats shit when he tries to change directions on a simple drag route, and it's an easy first down. So that's where I'm like, I just don't know if like you can trust this guy in coverage, or at least in man coverage, because he just doesn't have the movement skills. Nice, decent closing speed to get back up and get back there, but again, like, mentally he did fine. He just slipped on the exchange. This one again doesn't get targeted on this one. Richardson goes for the deep shot, but like, at first I want to give him a little bit of slack because it's play action, but I mean, look at the offensive line. Not a single one of them is selling around. All high hat across the board, and the run fake's not exactly huge, but he still just kind of bites on it and comes way too far downhill. And I mean, okay, maybe you can say he's trying to undercut the route, but I mean, we can't be 2 yards away from our man. Like, if Richardson has any touch at all, he just throws it over his head right here, and he can get easy completion to Jonathan Taylor, who might score.
He
if he gets there, depending on if I think that's Stingley picks up on it. But with them in man coverage, that's gonna be trouble. So again, this is just where I don't know if I trust him playing man. I don't trust him playing man. It's not a question. This time, I mean, this again would have been a touchdown had the ball been caught. Maybe you can say that Richardson needs to put it a little bit more in front, but either way, hit wide receiver or hit the running back in both hands. But I mean, he split out wide here in man coverage against the running back, which is going to happen a lot, especially if they think your guy can't cover. And he tries to get hands on him, which, by the way, he's outside of the 5-yard window here. So he's at 7 yards at risk of making illegal contact. And regardless, he doesn't affect the route like at all and still gets beat.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm talking about, like, is he a little bit like thicker and like just doesn't move like he used to? Because again, like that's just getting beat in man coverage. Like there's no scheme to figure out in this. You just got ran by.
Yeah.
Yeah. The end zone view that really, I'd be pissed off if I was Richardson against my running back. Like I finally drop a dime.
Yeah, man. I mean, good Lord.
Again, I guess maybe you could say it should be like more here, but 2 hands on the ball, dude. Catch the ball.
Yeah.
Put points on the board. All right. Moving on to him against the run. This is kind of what I'm talking about with him not being able to like take on blocks well. Like you'll see him. Is that Quentin Nelson? No, it's the other guard. He's on the backside of this gap run, and I mean he does a decent job trying to scrape over the top, but he doesn't get all the way over there. And then on top of it too, like I mean, it's pushed by the guard here and doesn't get over the top of the block. And then for some reason, this pissed me off too. He just goes underneath the block when it's an outside run to the other side of the other direction of the field. Like you just blocked yourself. Like, I mean,
that's Quentin Nelson destroying Singletary.
is that the other linebacker? Let me see.
Or Derek Stingley. I think he's destroying Derek Stingley. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
Derek Stingley. It's like I didn't
There he is.
I didn't come here to do this shit. What is this? But anyway, yeah. But back to White. I mean, we'll see it here from the other angle. Like again, just doesn't get over the top of the block. A little late to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of it, like he's got decent arm length for a linebacker, but I don't think he uses his hands well, and he's not that strong and physical at the point of attack. So when guys get into his body, he's just screwed. Again, pissed me off so much that he went underneath that.
Yeah.
Like, what angle are we taking on Taylor? But besides the point. And then on top of it too, like his instincts. This was the one where I'm like, you're just playing in no man's land. Like you get a little triple option here from the Colts, which is a unique play. Like you're not going to see this a ton. You got to have a running quarterback. But what bugs me about this is he gets a pre-snap indicator with the receiver motioning. It's downs again in the backfield into the other side of the formation. And then watch this tight end. The end zone view will show it even a little bit better. But he just goes straight up to him. So to me, if I'm reading my keys, like that should tell me I got to get over the top and outside of this block to go take care of the option, because I see this guy working across the field and I have the tight end coming right up to me. But if you watch this, like he even steps inside.
Oh, wow.
And then kind of blocks himself and makes that block look easier. And then again, like he just doesn't really, he struggles to get off the block. And that's not exactly like a great blocking tight end. I think that's Kylan Granson.
Yeah. That's a great option call if you got a linebacker who goes inside.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like I'll back this up a little bit. Like don't get me wrong, this play still probably might go for a big gain, because I think that's Lassiter here at the bottom of the screen. Like we don't get a great effort from him to get off this block. But for what White needs to do is White needs to get on Richardson as soon as he can, because he has the quarterback and the option, and at the very least force Richardson to pitch it early.
Yeah,
like keep stringing the play out. You know what I mean? And let the other guys try and pursue it. Like we'll see it here from the end zone. Like on top of this too, like we get straight outside zone from the offensive line who are blocking for Taylor, and I think that's what he sees. Like you can see his eyes right now. Like he's looking in the backfield, so he's just not reading his keys properly. But I mean, I would hope he would see 79 here and see this action in the backfield and think something's up, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in the box to take care of the outside zone action, especially with them optioning Will Anderson here. Anderson's crashing down hard inside. Like we don't need you inside now. We need you over the top of this block, and we need you on the perimeter. And he just gets caught in no man's land.
Yeah, he saw the outside zone. He thought about the outside zone run. He's playing the cutback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, playing the cutback while they run to the outside. Yeah. I mean, easy first down. All right, which one we got here? Oh yeah, another. I don't actually. At first, I thought this was a speed option. I will say this is a nasty play design that the Colts have. They're going to fake QB counter by pulling both these tackles, which I think is what gets him to kind of come downhill. And then just toss it out to Taylor. If you guys seen that clip of Bo Jackson say, "Bo don't want no blocking," this is like the equivalent of that, where they just get the wide receiver one-on-one here. But again, just to me, just a play like this kind of like speaks to his lack of instincts, if you will, against the run, where he falls and kind of comes downhill, which is a little bit questionable why he would even be doing that in counter. And instead of this time flowing outside at the back. And I mean, look at Neville Hewitt here, 43. Like look at him read it. Like, he sees it. He's more on top of it than White is, and they're running right at White. Again, another easy first down where Taylor just goes untouched until he crosses the sticks. Bigger issue though is the ability to get off blocks. Now he does get on the backside. I think he gives up a little bit here, which not a good idea going up against Quentin Nelson. Again, like he's just going to get swallowed up, and this was happening pretty frequently. Like I don't know if I saw him stack and shed once, even against like tight ends and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know how he stayed up through on this one, but
I don't either.
Yeah, he has good balance, I guess. That's what we'll say. All right. Moving on a little bit to what he can do well. Again, this was the one where I was talking about where he gets dangerously close to leaving his zone here. You'll see it. See what coverage is this. Got looks like maybe like a match 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
When he starts to drift with the play, like he starts to flow to this side, and then he kind of realizes, oh shit, they leaked the tight end out late. And then eventually does have decent like north-south speed to go make a nice open field tackle and get the coverage stop. Like that is the one thing I will give him a lot of credit for. Like I think when he's coming downhill, he can get down there in a hurry, and that allows him to close right as the ball gets there on that rep. This is probably his most encouraging rep in man coverage here. It does a nice job playing press coverage against this tight end. It kind of made me think maybe he might be better off like switching positions to being like a line of scrimmage linebacker, because he'll see like from the end zone view here, like he's pretty much playing he's playing like 2 yards off the ball.
Yeah,
he does a pretty good job getting his hands on. I think that's Wiley, the rookie there, and then just riding it. Like you can see Rudolph, that's where he wants to go.
Yeah,
but White's done such a good job of disrupting the timing of their route and staying on him that he has to come off of it and ends up just throwing over the middle field. Granted, completes it for a nice game, but nice rep by White, though.
Steelers starting quarterback Mason Rudolph right there.
Yeah, exactly. Again, this is probably his best clip that I could find. I think this is a little cover 2 here from Houston. And what I like too is like this time, like you can see, like this time he recognizes the motion. You can see him kind of widen with it, and he has to stay wide because he's got the wide receiver coming in the flat.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do like is he recognizes, like he's eyeing both right now. You can see like it looks like he's like eyeing straight ahead, but what that allows him to do is see this receiver and still see the quarterback throwing it. So then the quarterback once Rudolph there hits the little hook or the little curl route, now he can go collapse on it and ends up making a nice tackle to set up a 4th down. Do you think he is a decent open field tackler still? Not great, but
yeah,
made a handful of plays like that. It wasn't like missing a bunch. Same kind of thing here. So that is the one saving grace. I do think you can use him in zone. Like this is a tough cover too, because they're gonna run cover 3 where he's gonna be where this guy's gonna be the hook to curl defender, and he's the curl to flat defender. So he's gonna move laterally. And that time he actually does a decent job transitioning.
Yeah.
Just more helps that he's going more north-south instead of east-west. Or I guess east-north, if you will, east-south. But again, nice little open field tackle to keep that to a 3-yard gain, set up 3rd down. Couple plays here against the run. This is what I'm talking about. Like now, he barely makes this tackle, but he makes it. But he's on the play side here of a gap run, so he reads it downhill and just crashes. He's able to beat this tight end inside and work inside the block, and then just get just enough of Pollard to bring him down at the line of scrimmage. So my only concern is a tackle like that's not going to be repeatable. But what I do like is the fact that he knows like when to attack as this strong side linebacker.
Yeah.
I think he literally gets a hand on Pollard.
That's funny.
Literally just one. No, I guess he gets 2 at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good look for Pollard. Yeah, hey, makes the play. And then this one was his best one of the game. Backed up on the goal line here, a little power run.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. You put him on the play side of gap runs. I don't know how you're going to predict that the offense is going to be running a gap run and he's going to be on that side, but he can crash downhill. Does a nice job.
We do everything to beat the Chiefs over here, bro. Like this is
this is true. This is true. Yeah.
Did he also like Super Bowl MVP or something against Chiefs? They do everything to beat the Chiefs. I mean, these are the Chief beaters. That's what these guys are. A great guy who's great against gap runs. You got the guy who knows who could take on any cover 0, get the team set up. These are Chiefs. These are Chiefs guys. That's what these guys are.
They both. I guess they were on the team together, right? I was gonna say they both beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, so know how to do it.
They got the formula, man. They got the formula. But yeah. I mean, it's typical Devin White. It was like every Devin White film that's ever exists, basically, that you just kind of showed. So, kind of great downhill, and it's like easy for him. He can just see it, shoot it.
Yeah.
And then, if it's got to, have some, some, misdirection and stuff like that, he might not make it happen.
He'll freeze and he'll kind of second guess himself. But
yeah. When the Chiefs got the guys to pull it, and he's ready. He's ready to take on Pacheco.
He is.
Yeah, man. He's ready for Pacheco. I know that. All right. Yeah. Well, okay. So, any last thoughts about these two players, Matt, before we get out of here?
I mean, it's one of those situations where, again, we kind of talked about in the beginning, not our favorite guys on the roster, and hopefully at the end of the day they're not starting because that means someone beat them out. But yeah, hopefully we showed a little bit of what they can do. That people aren't completely depressed, but yeah. Well, again, if these two guys are in the starting lineup, or at least with Devin White, get a little nervous.
Okay. All right, guys. We are out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. I think we did get a call, Matt. You want to hear a call? He mentioned
Sounds
your
good.
name. Let's
all right.
Call. Let's check this out. I'm gonna share the screen here. Before we get out of here, let's get our first voicemail here, Matt. Can you hear it?
Hey, Marcus, Lynn, Matt, Tate Don't Lie, favorite Raiders, everything. This is Rudy to Booty with a big booty coming out of the very inclusive and accepting Oilsdale, California, right next to Bakersfield, California. I think that match between Hondo and Deshaun is very interesting. According to Hondo on his podcast, he says about 6'8", maybe 6'11", according to some of his accounts. He's about 289 or something to that effect. I think if that is true, his measurements, what have you, Hondo would definitely need to keep Deshaun at range, possibly front stab kicks, long extended jabs, of course. The issue, though, is I'm not sure if Deshaun's background in grappling or what have you, but it would definitely be tough for Hondo to keep up in terms of cardio conditioning. So if it goes to 5 rounds, I'm going to give the edge to Deshaun. Conditioning will play a big part in that fight, in my opinion. But we'll see when the fight tape gets leaked online. On a serious note, I think the quality of the Raiders season solely hinges on the type of play we're going to get from our weakest position groups, like corner and linebacker. I think the play we get out of corner and linebacker is going to tell us if we finish below 500 or if we're able to punch above our weight class with other teams in our division and conference. That's what I think. But what do you guys think? Rudy to Booty with the big booty is out. I love you, Oilsdale. No Diddy.
I love the detailed breakdown on the hypothetical fight between Deshaun and Hondo. He put some thought into that, and it flowed well and everything. That was nice.
So what are your thoughts, Matt? Like, what do you think? I mean, I kind of agree with him. I think it's, definitely linebacker. I think linebacker is the biggest question. I mean, showed it.
The more I dive into the linebacker position, the more I get a little bit concerned because, again, I think I've talked about it a lot with Landon Roberts. He should not be your best linebacker. And then diving deeper into Devin White, I'm like, man, this is worse than I thought, than I even imagined. And so one of those young guys, preferably two of them, really need to step up. I holding out hopes for Amari Gaynor that he can pick up steam where he left off in the preseason last year, and maybe Eichenberg got better. I know he's getting some buzz in the OTAs, so hopefully those two guys can take on that role. I think Roberts can be a decent 1-2 down guy for you and be your run stuffer, but they're really putting a lot of chips in one of those young guys stepping up. And I mean, maybe Jalen Smith, I don't know. Jalen Smith, do you have anything left in those knees that he can take it over? But I'm not going to hold out hope. I probably a little more confident in Devin White putting it together. But yeah, I agree. Linebacker, it's gone back. We had a few years with Robert Spillane where it was getting some good play, and now we've gone back to trying to figure out who the hell they're going to get on that second level of the defense.
Yeah, I'm worried about linebacker way more than corner. I mean, Pete Carroll can make some corners look halfway decent. I'm not worried about that as much, but linebacker is going to be interesting to say the least. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We got to hope some of these, maybe Tommy Eichenberg just steps up. You know what I mean? That's what we got to hope at this point. Some of these guys are going to step up and just take the reins. Some of these young guys are behind them, and show us something. That's what we got to hope for. That's me at linebacker, because it's just not. I mean, past this year, you think about it, these guys are 1-year deals, and not like they're long-term guys anyways. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a whole next year. It's going to be a focus of the draft that we look at next year, big time. huge.
I feel like we say that every year.
I know, as a Raiders fan, I know, but like, but it's gonna be a bigger focus, man, because especially if one of these young guys, unless like I said, let's Gainer or even Eichenberg, I mean, even Cody Lindenberg, man, any of those guys just kind of steps up and just becomes that gritty linebacker or anything like that, and makes a couple plays. Maybe he makes some mistakes here and there, but he just shows some potential to be a solid linebacker. Then, it's gonna be a tough year up at that position for sure. But yeah. All right, man. So, yeah, guys, you give us a call, man. Was it 480-267-9950? So 480-267-9950. Just go ahead and leave me a message, and we'll read these. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get these questions. Whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll probably do like one episode, me and Matt. We'll save the other ones for the fight or not. But me and Matt will do like one. So
sounds good.
All right, guys. Yeah, all right, guys, right here. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Have a good one.